What up, y'all? It's your boy Home Team here, and today's video is going to be about my DNA mix, my total genetic makeup, pretty much. And so this video is going to be like real freestyle because I'm just going to tell you guys pretty much what my genetic ancestry is. I know you guys have been asking me. Some of you guys have been asking me. Take the test. Let us know what's up, whatever. And so here it is. And the DNA company I chose to use was, African Ancestry, because I've used them before for my maternal lineage and my paternal lineage. And I don't know if you guys saw that video. Some of you guys may have. But my paternal ancestry was Mbundu from Angola, which means like my father's 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 father was a Mbundu man from Angola. And my maternal ancestry was Fulani from Guinea-Bissau. And so, that was really good and valuable information for me because, it just told me pretty much like where I come from. So I'm pretty much going to read my results. If it doesn't look like I'm excited about my results, it's because like I'm in total shock like right now about my results. And I guess you'll see why. So I'm just going to read it to you guys, and I'll show it to you on the screen as well. It says, D. Bridges, my name is Derek, by the way. So yeah, D. Bridges, we have determined your DNA mix. Your sample shows genetic similarity to individuals representing the following populations and calculated values. Now there's only one population on there, and it says Sub-Saharan Africa 100% with a 2% margin of error. So when I saw that, I was just like, wait a minute, this can't be. Like I was actually kind of a little upset. I was just like, yo, how they gonna just give me some nonsense like this, right? So I actually called them up. I spoke to the people, and it was just like, yeah, like these are your results. Like this is what it is. And they were asking me questions, where are you from, whatever. And I told them that my parents are from the Caribbean, and they were just like, well, yeah, we do get people who are 100% from the Caribbean in general, especially Haiti. And I thought that was interesting because my mom is Jamaican and my dad is from Antigua. And so my mom always told me that, she grew up in the mountains of Jamaica. So when I thought about it, I was just like, that is kind of like an isolated area in general. Like she used to tell me how she used to walk barefoot and like feed her goat and stuff like that, like before she went to school. So like I guess, it was an isolated area in general. I don't know where exactly my dad was born in Antigua, but Antigua is definitely largely Black African in general. So, but like I have like a lighter skin tone in general, and she was just like and I was telling the lady over the phone, and she was just like, yeah, I mean like people get confused about the skin tone in Africa. Just because your skin is lighter doesn't necessarily mean you have less African ancestry, and even if your skin is darker doesn't mean you have more African ancestry in general. And she said because your maternal ancestry was Fulani, the Fulani come in many different colors in general, and they're actually believed by some scholars to come from North Africa. A lot of Africans in Sub-Sahara like are believed to come from a more like northern region. And so basically to see these results, like I'm 100% with like a 2% margin of error, so like 98 or whatever, like that's that's crazy. So of course I had a lot of questions, and I kept calling them, and I was just like, yo, like is this like legit? Because I don't know, I was just really surprised because the history of people in the African diaspora, I'm not ignorant of that, of course. And I always knew that just because the skin tone idea, like I always knew about that in general, so that didn't surprise me. But basically I was asking, so does that mean that all my ancestors were like pretty much pure-blooded Africans in a sense? And she was just like, not necessarily. She was saying that it just means that I inherited the African portion of my ancestors in general. So that means that I may have had non-African ancestors. It's just that I didn't inherit their DNA specifically. And because, they're from the Caribbean in general, she said, the Caribbean is, of course, and I know this, pretty much dominated by black African people or Afro-descendant people in general. So, yeah, like, I was kind of hesitant to share this because, like, I kind of felt as though, to be honest, that people were just going to be like, bruh, like, for real. But this is a legit company because, they're certified in a sense. They've done a lot of different celebrities in general. They've been on CNN, and they're validated in many different ways. And that's one of the reasons why I use them. And it's a black-owned company as well. And they don't actually do the DNA test, from my understanding. Like, I think they ship it off to Utah or something like that, and they do like the test in a lab or whatever. They just have like the bulk of, I guess, like the source of African DNA in general. And I know I may be babbling right now, but yeah, like I'm 100% like sub-Saharan Africa. Like, I'm pretty much a mix of numerous ethnic groups from sub-Saharan Africa, which I knew already, but for it to be 100%, like, that's extraordinary to me, and it's very validating for me in general because I teach the diversity of African people in general, and to see that diversity reflected in me is just all the more validating, and I couldn't be more happy. Like, it may not seem like I'm happy, but like, I'm elated, and like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm in shock. This is like the next day, by the way. Like, I got the results yesterday, so it's still pretty new. So but yeah, like, I encourage a lot of you guys to take this test and figure out where your people come from. And I know some of you might be like, oh, why didn't you take Ancestry.com or whatever, or 23andMe, or these other DNA companies or whatever. And at least from what I've seen, like, they tell you like specific regions in Africa or whatever. Like, to me, I didn't need that because I know those regions or those countries are artificial in general. So like, if it tells you, oh, you're like 23% Nigerian, like, to me personally, because I know the history, like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, there are like hundreds of languages and ethnic groups in Nigeria in general. So like, it doesn't mean anything to me personally. So like, and that's why I took the maternal and the paternal test from this company or whatever, and they were able to pinpoint my ancestry, and to me it makes sense. So yeah, your boy Home Team is 100% sub-Saharan African, and that's it.